We'll have a word of prayer and we'll get started. This is a lecture on media. My name is Shannon Sexton. I am related to the pastor. I'm his oldest son. I help here in the ministry with a lot of different facets, mostly in the college. But we assembled a team of folks, and we'll introduce those gentlemen to you in just here in a minute. But we'll have a word of prayer, and then we'll get started. Lord, we thank you for this time. We hope that we can be of benefit to these folks that are here for this lecture. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you in this ministry. We pray that you'll help us to make this informative and educational. We thank you that we can speak to these folks, and we pray that you'll help us to answer the questions that they need. We thank you for this meeting. We thank you for the ability to attend, to get reacquainted with some old friends and to make new friends. We thank you that we serve you, and we can all learn some things from you today. And we thank you for the service we had this morning. We pray that you'll help the speakers this evening. Give them the words to say. We pray that you'll help in this lecture. In Christ's name, amen. All right. Come on in. Have a seat. Closer the better. We'll have people coming in late. Don't worry about it. It's okay. For those of you coming in, my name is Shannon Sexton. This lecture is on media and things that we do here at the college and the church and our academy. I'm going to introduce you to some folks that work with those ministries. We have some folks that work in web design, video, our publishing company, some audio, our radio station, some different things. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with these gentlemen one by one, let them give you a little explanation about what they do, and then at the end, hopefully, we'll have some time for questions. All right, we're going to start with Cody Stinson. Cody works with Crown Radio. He also has his own radio situation that he builds radio stations, does a lot of missions work, but he's going to briefly take you through Crown Radio. And then when he's finished, I'll introduce another gentleman, and we will go from there. Lunch is at 12:30. We'll get you out on time so you don't have to watch your watch. But these guys are going to take between 5 and 8 minutes, explain what they do, explain some useful tools that we use here. And if you have questions after, they'll be happy to answer those, and they also all have a card that you could contact them later. Okay? Cody?
Hey, guys, y'all doing well? I'll get up here so you can see me. All right. Well, we love radio. Radio is what God's given us to do. We travel a lot and install radio stations around the globe. We put up the towers. We also put in online stations as well. So those are primarily the two types of radio stations you have. And here at Crown, we just launched crownradio.org, and you can listen to it on your phones, on your computers at crownradio.org. Now, right now, it's an online station only. But Lord willing, here in the future, this summer, we're going to be actually putting up a tower here in Powell. And the FCC's granted the church here an LPFM license, which is a low-power FM license. And we're going to be getting that on the air for the local community of Powell here. It's just a little small low-power station. So we're excited about that. But, you know, that's going to reach the local community, which we're really thrilled about. But we're super excited about the online station. We launched it yesterday morning. Let's see. Yep. So it's up and going. And and so since then we've had, I think, 14 countries tune in, and several, I think probably right around 500-600 people tune in thus far, and we're still, pushing it out there and getting guys to come in on board and listen to it. So online radio is great because anybody in the world that has an internet connection can listen to online radio. I've been in the border of Mongolia with these two guys, and they've got internet over there, and they can listen to online radio there. I've been in the Congo-Ugandan border, and there's kids running around with smartphones, and they've got internet. And it's pretty amazing. 52% of the world listens to online radio. It's something that's fairly new. But 81% of the American population listens to online radio. So with this station, what we want to do, we want to be able to provide music and programming 24/7 so people around the world can tune in. And what's going to differentiate this station from probably other radio stations is the key focus of Crown Radio isn't necessarily going to be the gamut of all the programs you hear on other stations. We want to make it different. We want to make it to where there's Bible teaching on there, to where people can come to what they have here is a Knoxville School of the Bible. They can attend a School of the Bible. They can listen to doctrine classes and things like that, and they can learn things about missions. And so it's going to be a training platform. So you can listen online. We've got a How to Listen page. You can listen on your computer. You can listen on your phones. You can also listen on your Roku players and things like that. Does anybody in here use TuneIn? Do you have TuneIn on your phones? Anybody? Okay, so TuneIn is a pretty popular app. So you can, if you have TuneIn, you can download that and search for Crown Radio. The website is so new. We just launched it Sunday morning, so Google is still finding us. But if you want to get us on the internet, in that little address bar on the top of your phone, just go to crownradio.org, and you can pull it up there at crownradio.org. And you can listen to it there. And the player comes up. It's just going to start playing. Right now, it's mainly music and things like that. We're broadcasting the special meetings. The church services from here will be broadcast on here. And literally, anybody in the world can tune into it. So we're super excited about it. And this is just the start. This is going to be the English station, and we're going to also duplicate this in other languages and reach around the globe and get behind closed doors that are hard for a missionary to get into. Radio keeps going 24/7. I had to sleep last night for about 3 hours, but the radio station kept going, and we're excited about that and excited about what God's going to do with it.
Cody, real quick before you're finished, in 2 minutes or less, how can these folks get into online radio if they're interested in it? Repeat the question on the microphone. We're using the microphone for recording purposes, not for amplification.
Sure.
How can they get into online radio if they want to do that? That's what this is about.
Okay. So how many pastors do we have in here? Okay, missionaries? All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to ask about. We want to take just a second and talk about how you can start an online radio station. Okay? The really neat thing about online radio station is you do not have to have a license from the FCC. You can just start one. There's no governing body over those internet airwaves yet. So now's the time to get into it. An online radio station is very simple. Basically, we would set up a computer, something like what you see over here, running an automation program, and we can fill that with music and fill that with programs, and then we would connect that with the server and then connect it with the website, and then everybody can tune into it. So we can help you set that up. We can show you. It's very, very simple. We set up a lot of online stations for churches, and they put their preaching on it, they put their live streaming and things like that on it. So a super effective tool for your ministry where you guys are at.
Great. Thank you, Cody. Next, we have print media with Chad Mitchell. He directs all of our publications here with Pastor. Again, we're using the microphone for recording, not for amplification, so bear with us. But Chad Mitchell has worked here for 18 years, and he works with all of our publications in print. So publishing Pastor's books from the design stage, which we'll talk about later. After the design stage, Chad takes that book. He's priced out what the run of the book would be. He's found a printer for the book and some different things, so he's going to talk a little bit about that. Some of you are interested in publishing different materials, pamphlets, books, different things, and Chad directs all of that here for our ministry. He'll speak about that.
All right. Again, my name's Chad Mitchell. I am, I think my business card says Director of Publications. Once the book is ready, that has gone through design, which Ryan will speak about here in a few minutes. I have contacts with printers, and we have some in Nashville, Atlanta, Michigan, some things of that nature that I price the job with. I call up, say, hey, we've got this book. It's approximately this many pages. This is the size. It's hardback. It's a softback. Whatever it is, what we want it to be. They come back with quotes. We pick who's got the best price for the job. So it could be printed just a few hours down the road in Nashville. It can be printed as much as 12 hours up the road in Chelsea, Michigan, I believe is where it's at. So we can do that any different ways, but we look for the best price, the best quality, who's coming in on that. A new thing that a lot of people are getting into, and we're working on converting our books over to as well, is the ebook arena. A lot of people are interested in it. Everybody keeps saying, oh, everything's going to go that way. It hasn't happened yet. It is happening. People are using them. So we've started converting and trying to move into that as well. There's a lot of avenues for that. There's a lot of places that help you do things like that. We use a service that's called BookBaby. We provide them PDFs, they convert it, and they push it out to all the major channels, iTunes, Kindle, Barnes & Noble's Nook, and even some I've never heard of. And it becomes available in other countries. It's not just U.S. I've had sales on Amazon's Kindle store in Australia, things of that nature. You set up when you've sold so much, they cut you a check, mail it to you. They'll do a direct deposit, anything along those lines. They also have some facets out there. They will help you with graphic design if that's not your thing. And I've also gotten into the print area now as well, where you pay them for the book, they print you a quantity and things of that nature. So a lot is changing. We do a lot of things here, and we work with big printers. You also have jobs that may be something you can do with a local printer. We have local printers here, some of our smaller booklets. If we need them, if it's a quick run, we've got people in the area. We send to them. We can turn those around in a week, 2, things of that nature to help us out, so that sometimes time's a factor. Sometimes you need something within a few days, not a few weeks. So when you're talking a big job, some of the printers that I mentioned that are a few hours away or whatever, that's a couple weeks. I mean, if I give them a paperback, it'll be a few weeks on that. But you can develop relationships with printers that are probably in your town, in your area. They can do bulletins, they can do smaller booklets, they can do business cards, things of that nature. So we have a lot of relationships along those lines as well. And what have I missed? Okay. All right.
Thank you. Think of some questions, because we're trying to work through all these fellas, and then we'll come back with some questions. We want to be interactive today. So Chad handles all the print, hard media, traditional media, with our books, pamphlets. We do have relationships with local printers. We also use some out of state. Before Chad can get a book, it has to be designed. Ryan Kiter is over all of our design. He does web design. He makes banners. If you look at this website, Cody was sort of the brains behind the Crown Radio, but Ryan designed things that are on the website. He does traditional design. He does new media design. We do a lot of social media design and different things just for social media. So he's going to talk a little bit about that and touch on print design a little and some different software you may use with print design. Also touch on the social media side of design. So this is Ryan Kiter.
I'm glad you're all here today. The first thing I'd like to say is that we live in a modern age. So everybody needs to think about design in a new way. We used to think about design as we'd print a book and then we'd have some guy sit in a corner and code a website, and a lot of times our media didn't match. We had this print book and it didn't match the website and all the stuff. Well, things are changing. If you're going to be doing any kind of actual printing, it needs to be done in a way where it can be done in a digital form and be put online. And, as you market yourself and as you brand yourself, you need to think about that. Everything needs to match. Everything needs to look good. When we built this website, we started from the ground up. We said, what do we want it to look like? What do we want print pieces to look like? If you got one of your little cards, basically the card that we printed looked exactly like the website, because we wanted everything connected and everything to work. We thought, we used to be able to say, well, we have a website. Well, you go to on your phone, well, it doesn't look good because we designed it for a website. And Glenn will touch on that a little bit more, but just in your print and media, be thinking about that. If you send it out for somebody, make sure you think ahead and say, look, are we going to put this on social media? Is it just going to be a book? How are you going to do it? We do a lot of books here. I think Pastor has now 35 full-length books, hundreds and hundreds of booklets. We do a custom bulletin every week. I know a lot of churches don't have the time or the resources to do that. We do that here. We do tons and tons of print stuff. We actually have 2 digital presses here on site that we use. So we do a lot of stuff in-house, and we do a lot of stuff out-of-house too. The major resource that we use for design is the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. They have gone to a really good model. They used to charge you $1,400, $1,500 for every upgrade every year, but now I think you pay like $39 or $40 a month, and you get unlimited licensing, unlimited upgrades, and you get the whole package deal. So that's what we use primarily for everything: InDesign, Photoshop, and different areas like that. Most every book that we have winds up or gets built in InDesign, and all the different pieces will be brought in from the different programs that we use. Other than that, I think we'll have some questions at the end if you have any questions, but that's really what we do. If you guys are looking to do some print and design, we can assist in that as well. So that's kind of how we do it. Thank you.
Thank you. So Ryan will build some graphics, or he'll do a book layout, If it's a hard type of media, which it's a book or a pamphlet or traditional media, he'll then turn those files over to Chad. If it's something that we want to have a digital footprint with, these two next guys are guys that help us with that digital online presence. Glenn Layson is over all of our web development and websites. So our church website, Faith for the Family, different websites, the college. He's built a lot of those. He's designed a lot of those. He works with these other gentlemen to get graphics and things to put on our website. So I'll have Glenn come a little bit and talk about what he does and how he does it. He may want to show you a couple web examples. But Glenn Layson.
Hello again, my name is Glenn Layson. 91%, and this is a stat from 2014, so I'm sure it's exceeded since then. They haven't done a study of it, but 91% of people, they did a study, will visit your church website before even they darken your door at all. Our websites right now, we have Google Analytics, which is a free service you can put on any of your websites to find out who visits there, where they're coming from, how long they stayed. On our actual Google Analytics, we average right now per day a little over 9,000 people visiting our websites. And that's from all over the globe. We've had I looked this morning, it was 146 countries have visited just this last year. Since the year to date, going back, we're a little over 400,000 people have visited our websites. And so, so a lot of people use the web. A lot of people use the internet as a means, as a source to promote media, what your church is. It's a perfect venue. It doesn't cost as much as a printed piece will to send that out, because digital, online, you can use just different services. On most of our websites that we have, this one is actually a hard-coded website, but we're slowly moving all of our websites over to a platform called WordPress. It's probably the easiest, most structured platform that's out there. It's totally free, which is really nice. All you have to do is buy a theme, which can average from $18 to $30 or to $56. It's the most I've ever known.
Take it down real elementary for people like me and talk about the variation between hard-coded and WordPress. What did you mean by the first expression?
When I say hard-coded, that means you actually have to know a language. There's about 6 different languages that are out there that's actually programming actually on there. I've learned how to do that since I was 13. I just picked it up one day. So I've been doing it for a lot of years. But you don't have the time to do that. So they've created a platform which is totally what they call WYSIWYG. So what you see is what you get. And basically allows you to drag and drop different items and create websites out of it. The Crown College website and also Crown Radio is actually from the WordPress platform. We're slowly moving all the rest of them over to it, because it allows anybody that has absolutely no clue about web design or web coding be able to go in there, edit text, so I don't have to get a phone call every single day to change things, because I've got a lot I have to do. So it makes it a lot easier for people that really aren't familiar with it at all. But you can use that platform. Like I said, the WordPress themes, you can get, the best place to get them is at themeforce.net, is probably the best place to be able to purchase any of that stuff. Themeforest.net is the best place to buy a WordPress theme. And then, like I said, all you have to do is just have a server, which can cost, right now you can get at GoDaddy.com a server for about $3.95 a month, which is very, very inexpensive. So altogether, you're only going to be spending maybe a year, maybe about $70, and you get yourself a website. YouTube is absolutely wonderful when it comes to knowing how to build any of that stuff at all. Just Google or go on YouTube and put in how to build a WordPress website, and they actually have videos on there where they can step you through a whole site in about 2 hours. You can build one. The ones that are on here that we've built on ours took a little bit more time, because we put a lot of content that's in there. But that's probably the simplest, most easiest platform pretty much for anybody to use. And we're, like I said, we're changing over to that to make it easier for everybody that works here to be able to go in there and edit. But if you have any more questions, we're going to be answering them in a second.
Great, thanks. Thank you, Glenn. And basically, the reason we're going over to WordPress here is so if Glenn sets up a WordPress website for the college, we're planning on converting ours over to that format. Then I can have someone in an office update information that I don't have to bug Glenn about updating and hard coding. So as this all develops and changes, it makes it so much easier for people to do their own updates in their own entity. So we've gone through, Ryan designed it, Chad printed it, Cody's put it on the radio. Pastor usually, mostly all of his content. So Pastor created the content, the Lord helped him with that, and then we're trying to get the word out. Glenn's put it on the website. Now, Matt Turner helps us with our YouTube presence and our social media presence. So Matt takes our church services, I'll let him explain it, and he gets it out to literally millions of people on our YouTube channel. We have 2 YouTube channels. That's a bit controversial with YouTube because there's a lot of filth on YouTube. We understand that, and we have a disclaimer, which he can talk to you about, on our YouTube channels. We don't vouch for all of YouTube, okay? We have a disclaimer on our channels. We try to use these tools for the Lord, but Matt can go in and explain some of that to you.
Hello, once again, my name is Matt Turner. I am the director of television broadcast, all online broadcasting for the church, and I also do all video production here for the church and the college. I just would like to say first, I agree with Ryan. We're in a changing world and a media-driven society. The average American spends 9 hours a day on Facebook. 9 hours a day on Facebook. So just absorb that for a second. And what do all of us do when we go on Facebook? We go on there and we watch all the little videos everybody posted. So it's incredible. Ryan, if you could pull up our YouTube site for me, that'd be awesome. Every service, we have a bunch of camera and video broadcast equipment over in the church. If you guys have any questions about that, I can tell you anything that you want to know about that. I could talk all day long just about the equipment and the software we use. I primarily function in the same suite of software that Ryan does, the Adobe Creative Suite. Like you said, I think it's $30 or $40 a month. It's actually something like $60 or $70, I think, but for nonprofits, it's like $30, I believe. Education, I think you can get for $15 a month if you can do an education account, so it's pretty inexpensive, and you get everything. So not only do you get the design software that he uses, all my video editing software, I use Premiere Pro is the name. It's Adobe Premiere Pro. There's other free options out there that are great, but that's what I've been using Premiere Pro since I was a senior in high school. So it's a great program. I also use for any type of compositing work. When I say compositing work, like if you watch any of our videos, we've done some special presentations. Some of those are on the college YouTube channel. They anything that has like a moving graphic element or whatever in it, that would be something we do in a program called After Effects. Some of this stuff gets pretty technical, but there's great resources out there. If you want to learn more about all this stuff, I follow a guy by the name of Andrew Kramer. He has videocopilot.net. It's a great resource. All the work I've ever done After Effects, I learned everything from watching his videos. If you have any questions or want to learn more about actual video production, I follow a guy named Ryan Connolly. It's Film Riot. I do not vouch for these people as Christians because they're not, so I'll just say that as a disclaimer. But they are great people to learn from. Everything I've ever learned about video production, I've learned from those two people. So they're great resources to use. What we do in the back room of the church, we have all of our camera feedback in there, and we have a computer that we record to. That's the simplest way to put it. Then we take that raw recording of service. They're normally very large in file size. We do everything in HD. We'll take that, and then I'll move that to my computer in my office. I'll open up in Premiere Pro, and I'll cut that up. Just some simple tools in Premiere Pro. You can use to cut and paste your footage. I normally render out a whole service, so I have the entire thing. So I'll just take that uncompressed raw file, drop it in a timeline, and then just render that down to a smaller compressed format for storage. We also chop out, we'll chop out the service separately, specials, congregationals, choir specials, song specials, instrumental specials, post them all separately, and we also pull the service out and post it separately. The reason why we've done it that way is we found that we get the most views on each of our separate contents if they are divided up. So, for instance, I don't know if Ryan has any of our, go to congregational hymn singing there, Ryan. We have a couple of these that have over 10,000 views on one song. So, and when you compare to other churches,
Don't sing hymns anymore.
yeah, that is the biggest thing we have.
Go to watch our hymns. Explain some of that, Matt. Sorry to interject.
Yes, Honestly, you read the comments, the number one thing we're commented on our YouTube channel is when we put congregational hymn singing on there. And it's always, we're so glad you guys still do it. We're so glad you post it. We like to listen to it. I never would have thought someone would sit down and actually watch a YouTube video of a church just singing a hymn. I know when I go to YouTube, that's not the first thing I think of doing, but we have found tons of people like doing it. It's been, honestly, the most views right here is when we have over 3,000 views on it. I know that there's, Taylor Swift puts a video on there. She'll have 14 million whatever views, so we're not anywhere close to that. But when you compare to other churches, we blow other churches out of the water. I'm talking mega churches. Ryan and I have sat down. We've gone and looked at the metrics. We're getting thousands of more views per video the way we're doing it. We're breaking up the services. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We even, with our sermons, with pastor sermons, we'll have hundreds of more views per sermon, especially if we share on Facebook our sermons. We'll get hundreds of more views than any top evangelical leader you can name. I mean, we've looked them all up. We get many more views. Our overall, Ryan, can you scroll to the top of the screen so you can? We have over 5,000 subscribers, but if you scroll to the top, I think it shows our overall views on. It's normally up at the top there above Faith for the Family, isn't it? Yes. Yes, right there. We have over 2 million views on our YouTube channel. So that's pretty incredible. And once again, you compare that, we've compared with a lot of other large ministries, evangelical ministries, and we have many, many more views. So people are interested in our content. They want to know what we say. It's a great platform to put things on. You need to be using it if you're not using it. It's not very expensive to start a video ministry. Once again, I can talk all day long about equipment and stuff that we use. If you have any questions about equipment ever, how to get started up, I did some math this morning. You can, for as little as right around $1,000, you can get started in doing, that's all your hardware, everything you need to get started in doing online streaming of your services. And that would allow you to, as long as if you're getting content to your computer for streaming, you can be recording it as well. So we use, YouTube is what we use. If you want to go to the back end, Ryan, you can just go to there real quick. In YouTube, there's a back end on it, and there's a live streaming section. So you just go on there and you create a live event. And then we have a piece of software called Wirecast. It used to be free. Now I think their free version is now like you pay $10 and they remove their little watermark from it. So for $10, you can have a piece of software that'll stream directly to YouTube. If you want to use other platforms, that's fine. There's other great platforms out there. YouTube is free. So that's why we use YouTube. YouTube also has unlimited content size. We can put as much content as we want. They also auto-archive, so even though we're making our own local recordings and copies, they keep a full copy of every single sermon. I don't take it down. I just leave it privately listed on there. But Ryan's creating a live event right now. This is all there is to it. You go in there, create a live event, you create a name, a date, a time. We have a default description that just gets put in on every single one, and we have default tags that get attached. The tags are used for just when people go and search on YouTube. Those tags are just there for helping and searching. So if someone goes and searches Temple Baptist Church, these videos are more likely to pop up near the top because they have those tags built into them. So that's it. Basically, we just create the event, and then after the event's created in Wirecast, you can connect Wirecast to your event and go live. So, yes? Yes, you can just tell. Yes, you can tell it to not allow any comments at all if that's what you choose to do. What we do, yes, you can tell it right inside of. You can actually do it to be a. You can actually have a live chat if you want. That's how hard it is. But we always set it here. On the live stream, I always turn off the comments. But when we post videos, we post them. We allow comments as long as they have an account, but we only allow them if we approve them. So you can set them to say only to be approved. So they can comment, and we can see what they say. Sometimes it's not fun to see what they say because they're being ridiculous, but that doesn't ever show up unless you approve it.
Now, they don't know on the front end that we're approving that, but we set our settings in YouTube to where comments only post if we approve them. So during the day, part of Matt's job is to review comments that will come in, and if someone is using profanity, or now we do allow some negative comments. I mean, not, why did Pastor talk about gay marriage, or why did Pastor? We'll allow some of that. We're not, trying to censor all comments, but profanity, something that's just over the top negativity.
But nothing gets posted until it's approved by.
Correct.
Yes, correct. On the comments. Yes, correct.
Now, we can easily set that in your channel.
And I would say for every one comment that's negative, there's
Oh,
thousands
yes.
of good comments.
Yes.
Really.
Now let's talk about, real quick, Matt, the disclaimer. Let's show people where that is on our channel. I just want you to read what we put up as far as the disclaimer. We've been criticized. We have been criticized about using YouTube a lot by other folks in the faith, and that's their prerogative. But because there are things that are very distasteful on YouTube, a lot of people use, what is it, Vimeo, okay, and which is a great service, and they try to post things, but you cannot live stream, okay? So you have to have a different live stream situation. You can't use the same thing. So our disclaimer, warning, right here. Can you read this? Clicking off this page to any other area on YouTube may take you to videos outside Faith for the Family's oversight, which would contain inappropriate comment. All the videos listed on this page are children and teenager safe, okay? That's what we choose to put on ours, because people that are very critical of us say, my child was watching your church service and then they clicked on something else on YouTube. Well, it's not our job and responsibility to babysit your child. It's your responsibility. I mean, your child can be watching NBC television and find out how to have an inappropriate lifestyle. Someone has to monitor your own child's viewing. Yes.
Yes.
The question was, how do you take a YouTube video and archive it to your website correctly? Here's the main reason we use YouTube. Have you ever lost a hard drive and lost some kind of backup? Well, we back up religiously, but YouTube keeps a backup of every service that is streamed to it. So if you have a good stream, you have a complete backup for all time on their servers. I don't know how many times we've had to go and get that thing and bring it down because something happened with the recorder. Right. Correct.
Then our archival backup.
Right.
We have 3
Go to the video page.
Our pastor says to us, it's content that the Lord has given him.
Right.
So we vigorously protect his content.
Right.
But when you're doing production for this type of ministry, it's very easy to go grab it off YouTube's backup instead of trying to go through our hard drives, which have 25 years of our pastor and
Right.
other men speaking, even though it's pretty easy to search too because
Right.
they do a good job. But it's easier to go to YouTube and grab it.
Two things. Let me answer your question. What we do, they're great plugins. Like this plugin right here that's on our church website. If it's on our YouTube channel, it's automatically brought right into the site under videos. So you can search it. You can see have people subscribe to your YouTube from your church page and everything. It's a very easy template to set up. Whoever does your website just creates a page, put that template in, and it'll populate all of your YouTube videos right on there. Or you can just, with one click, take the embed code from YouTube and put it in there, and it's there. So it's not very difficult at all. If you have WordPress, it's even easier if you're running a WordPress website because, it's crazy. Another thing, too, just to counter what we say about YouTube is there are some people that refuse to watch YouTube. They refuse to watch our services on there. They won't even go on it. I had a gentleman who called me and said, I have YouTube blocked in my router, and I don't care what you put on, I'm not going to watch it. Now, that's fine. That's great. He's protecting his family. So we also do stream another live stream simultaneously to sermon audio, and that is found
For that service,
right. YouTube,
service
right?
those people.
Correct.
So if he goes to your website, and from your website
No, well,
Him, it does. He's
maybe.
bringing up his example because at his home, the entire YouTube site is blocked. He won't let his family get on it at all.
Now here,
But no, he can't. Okay. So what we do is we have a separate organization that we also pay to stream our services, so he can watch our services on something he perceives as safe.
right, and on our website too, and
We're trying to be accommodating.
right. Either way, like if it just plays on our website, like we don't make our videos go to YouTube. Like if it plays on our website, it's just playing there on our website. So somebody that feels that way will never be going to the actual YouTube website. They'll just be watching a video on the TempleBaptistChurch.com.
We don't want to offend.
Right.
We just want to get the word
But I was just saying, we do pay a significant amount of money on top of doing YouTube to run sermon audio, which we do sermons and everything.
I currently broadcast all of my messages live, and I run through Wirecast, and then I use a paid service called Sunday Streams, and that I think through iFrame sends it to my website. I pay a significant amount of money because I'm starting to accumulate a lot of data.
Yes.
And you have to pay more based off the amount of data that you have. So I've started to have to delete some of my files from that archive. Now, if I were to use YouTube, can I push straight from Wirecast to YouTube, or I need to run that signal then from my Wirecast into another computer and push to
No.
Wirecast to connects directly to you.
Correct. I mean, like,
Explain the question.
yes. The question was they're using another streaming service and they want to know if YouTube will work for them as well. Yes, if you're using Wirecast and if you click on Wirecast to go to your settings, probably the same page that you would go to Sermoncast. All you do is click YouTube, and if you have set up a YouTube account or a YouTube stream, it'll pull it in, it'll just populate in, you click on it, hit OK, and hit stream, and it streams. There's no cost, it's unlimited storage, and you can embed it you can actually embed it in an iframe where there's no player controls. So they honestly wouldn't even actually know that it's a YouTube video.
And do you have any advice on compressing the HD for storage purposes?
If you're going to actually keep it on site, we always compress everything into H.264, which is MP4. That is the best quality, lowest. I mean, sometimes go ahead.
Our services, on average, we run about. We just changed our compression format. We went from a completely uncompressed to an Apple ProRes that we record in. That's a limitation on our hardware, so that's why we have to go in that higher format. They're normally about 120 to 150 gigs. They were about 600 gigs when we were doing uncompressed, completely the original recording. We rendered that down from 120 all the way down to an average of 7 for the full and only 4 gigs for the sermon. But still, even at that, though, if you're going to plan on doing on a local archiving, you're about to get big hard drives, like 4 terabyte, 6 terabyte drives. We really would recommend getting something called a Drobo. They're a little bit more expensive, but what a Drobo will do is you put multiple drives in it, and it replicates the data so you won't lose your data. So if you have drive failure, and also it will take your drives to make them larger volume. So you can take, if you get an 8-drive Drobo, you can put 8 4 terabyte drives in there. We'll stripe them all together in one big volume for storage. So
Great. Now, let me just tell you, we have time for a few more questions. It's 12:30. It's lunchtime. I understand. But there's a big line. But if y'all have some more questions, you can ask those. Or each one of these gentlemen has a business card with a mobile number on it. They're perfectly accessible to you. I'll make them accessible to you from now on. So take their card, call them, ask your question privately. They'll be happy to walk you through every stage of everything we do. Now, we're not saying that we have all the answers. We're far from it. People do a much better job than us at this. But we have a system that works for us, okay? And we're trying to accommodate people that want our content. We're trying to make it affordable. We're trying to make it easy to access. And so this system works best for us. Now, as Ryan said, there are many people that think that, letting YouTube into their home, or the internet for that matter, causes a problem for their family. We completely understand that. That's why we pay to offer different options for those people to stream our services. But I appreciate y'all being here. these gentlemen will hang around for a little while. If you do have any questions, please let us know. When Matt, we kind of talk amongst ourselves. We have some lingo we use in different things, and Matt's like, oh, we blow away other churches that use. We don't look at things that way. What he's talking about is somebody like Joel Osteen or someone. We have more people watch our hymns than watch his praise and worship nonsense. That's what he's talking about. We're not looking at that from an egotistical point of view, like our church is better than some other church, we're not looking at it that way. What we're talking about, there's a thirst and a hunger for biblical Christianity with hymns, sound preaching, that type of thing. That's what we're talking about. All this other nonsense is a flash in the pan, and it's going to make a cycle, and it's all going to come back to what we believe the Bible says about having a worship service. And what we're talking about is there's a thirst for that out there now, and people are enjoying watching that content that we are trying to produce for them. I don't want you to think that he's talking about, oh, it's the church across the street. We're talking about these people that are making a mockery in our belief of what true Christianity is. All right? I appreciate you being here. Please talk to these folks if you have any questions. We're all accessible. If nothing else, come up and get a card or a phone number so they can help you in the future. You're at home in 6 months. You can say, I think Ryan could tell me how to do this Adobe InDesign thing. Pick up the phone, call him. We all want to hear from you, okay? Enjoy your day. We have a good lunch today, beef tips, rice, and some other things. So I hope you enjoy that, okay? Thank you.